Welcome back to the 12th Man. Today I'm here with Adam and we're going to talk about the relegation battle. We're going to talk about the top 4 Champions League qualification places, and we're also going to have a little conversation about VAR. So firstly, I hope Adam, how's it going, mate?
Alright, mate, yeah.
Yeah, good talk, thanks. Cheers, buddy. Right, so my first question to you today is the relegation battle. It's probably the tightest it's been for some years now, so I want you to tell me who you think the 3 teams will be that are going down. Now, what we'll do, I'll just have it. I've got the league table in front of me, and we'll go down from about 11th because I think there's about 7 points between bottom and 11th. So, firstly, Watford. How do you think they're going to do?
Watford. I mean, they started really well. Just before Christmas, October, November time, they won like 8 out of 11 games, and then since Christmas they've I think everything that's happened with the manager and the Everton links and all that it's just hit them hard as a team, and they're dropping points left, right and centre now.
Yeah, I mean, I think with him, as soon as he realised that Everton were interested, he just wanted to fuck off.
I think that was it. I think that was his head was turned. The big money, the bigger team.
Yeah.
Well, we say a bigger team, but Everton they're not brilliant themselves.
Well,
but
no, not this season. But I mean,
but the potential there with Everton is a lot more than Watford. So
yeah,
I think maybe his head was turned, and that's hitting him hard now.
I mean, just quickly on to Everton. I mean, with the intent of bringing in Walcott and, like you say, with Everton, they have got a chance of progressing a lot further than what Watford did. And I think Flores saw that and thought, "Fuck it, I just want to go." Silva. Silva.
Marco Silva. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's seen the potential of what with Everton. Like you say, Walcott coming in, Rooney experienced that in there.
Yeah, definitely.
And Sigurdsson coming in and Pickford coming in. All the money they've spent, he's seen that the money's there to be spent. Whereas at Watford, and January transferring, I don't seem to recall any signings at all.
No. I think they've had a couple of loanee signings, but that manager they brought in now. I mean, where did he come from? I know he's come from Spain. Were they bottom of the league where he's come from? The team he was at.
Who?
What's the name of the manager? Watford's manager?
Marco Silva.
No, the new one. They've got a new manager now, haven't they?
I'm not quite sure what his name is. I think he was from the Bilbao or somewhere like that, some lower Spanish league team.
Yeah,
but
it's a bit of a risk, that, isn't it? Jumping from. I mean, at least Silva had got some Premier League experience. I mean,
yeah, maybe they should have stuck with him really, or maybe they had a conversation with him and he probably said, "Look, I was for off," and they probably said, "Well, okay then, fair enough. There's a door, but
yeah, well, so we'll see." Right, and in 12th we've got West Ham.
West Ham again. I think getting rid of Bilic was a bit of a shock to everybody involved with West Ham, but I don't think Moyes is the man. Obviously, United's proved that. He wasn't. At Everton, he was building something there. His head got turned at Old Trafford, and he left, didn't he? But I think West Ham, they'll have enough to survive. Hernandez is big key for them. I'm not quite sure what's happening with this that Antonio guy at the moment. I think he's missed a couple of meetings or something, and he's been dropped from the team. And
yeah, I saw that the other day.
I think that's a bit weird, but
they've got a lot of injury problems, haven't they? West Ham?
They've got a lot of injury problems as well.
Arnautovic's out injured. I think Carroll's out for the rest of the season. I think, actually, I don't know if it's the rest of the season, but it's a big chunk of the season. Well, what's new there? That Obiang, I think he's out injured and all.
Yeah, they've swapped the keeper over again. Joe Hart's been dropped again. I don't know what everyone makes of that, but to me he's England pedigree, isn't he, down the years. To me, he would have been the one to keep in there, but they swapped him over. They conceded a lot of goals, and they're still sticking by him and not putting Hart back in. So, but I think they'll have enough.
You think they'll have enough? Okay. Right, 13th, Brighton.
Brighton, the new Premier League new boys.
Yeah.
They're struggling again, but another good win at the weekend. That could be another vital 3 points for them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They've got some tough games coming up. I think they could be.
Do you think they could be dragged into it?
I think they could be dragged into it, but I think they'll just about survive, just above the bottom 3. I think.
Okay.
I think Brighton will be okay.
Right, Crystal Palace, 14th.
Again, I look at Crystal Palace's team sheet, and the names stand out to you all over the pitch.
Yeah, they do.
Benteke, Zaha, Townsend.
I mean, I'm one of these that I like punching and all. I know he comes off the bench a lot, but
punching, but he's out for the season now, isn't he?
Oh, is he? I didn't know that. So.
He's out for the season.
I fucking know.
But they've got some good players across the pitch.
Yeah.
You know, they got a half decent manager. Yeah, his record wasn't great for England, but I think Roy will keep him up.
I think at club level, he's decent.
I think
he's always proven that.
I think Palace will survive.
Then again, internationally, once he was Switzerland manager, once he for
Roy
Hodgson. So he's I agree with that. I think just for the squad alone, I think they'll stay up.
Yeah.
Right. So in 15th, we've got Southampton. Oof.
Southampton. That's like last season when they played Liverpool at Anfield in the cup semi-final. They'll have a mint game and then they'll play 3 shit ones. You know. Manager, I don't even know who that guy is, to be honest with you.
No, he's...
But again...
Is it Pellegrino?
But again, you look at Southampton's team all over the pitch. They've got big names there.
Yeah,
like Gabbiadini, you know, that Tadic is a decent player. Some young lads like Stevens coming in now and plays like that. And
I think Gabbiadini, though, I think when he first came into Southampton, I think it was last January, wasn't he? He made such an impact so soon. I think a lot of their fans thinking, oh, you know, we've got a striker. I mean, then again, they've got Charlie Austin as well.
Charlie Austin's a good player. You know, he's out for a bit now, but
I think Gabbiadini, I think he's sort of gone off the boil a bit, and without goals, and that's something that Southampton have definitely struggled with this season.
That Ward-Prowse is a decent player as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But like I say, goals is the key to survival for any team.
Okay.
And they're not scoring enough goals.
Well, like I say, what we'll do, we'll talk about teams, and then you can tell me you think you'll be in the bottom 3 after. Then we've got Newcastle in 16th.
Newcastle again. I don't think he's getting the backing of Mr. Ashley, is he?
No.
Mr. Benitez. I don't think he's getting what he needs. You know, no January transfers, only a couple of loanies, and one of them's out for about 4 weeks. That's Slimani.
Yeah.
Again, that's a risk.
I mean, if you look at their squad as well, I would say honestly on paper it's one of the worst in the league.
Yeah, you know, they're not brilliant. Dwight Gale was the Championship's top scorer, but he's the Championship top scorer.
Yeah, exactly.
He's finding it a lot more difficult.
Yeah, no,
against Premier League defences, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of Premier League defences go tight.
Yeah.
You know, the space is unbelievably hard to find against most teams.
Yeah.
Which is why we love the Premier League. You know, every team is hard to beat.
Yeah.
You know, no game is a guaranteed 3 points where you think it should be.
Yeah. No,
but it's
absolutely
not. You know.
No, I agree. Absolutely. I think with Newcastle, I think it'll all come down to the way Benitez sets everything up. I think regardless of what players he's got, he's a good manager. No one can take that away from him. He is a good manager, but it's how he sets things up, and can he do it until the end of the season? I mean, they're 1 point above the relegation zone.
I think they'll be in trouble.
Okay, right. 17th, Swansea.
Yeah, for me, they're going down.
Do you think so? Even after the run that they're on now?
I think they will go down. I don't think they've got enough. Personally.
Really?
Yeah, I think Newcastle is personally a stronger side than Swansea.
Do you?
Yeah, I would personally say so, but I just don't see enough in Swansea. Yeah, they beat Arsenal, they beat Liverpool, but I just think.
I think the problem is with Swansea, if they go on a little bit of a bad run, which like they did at the beginning of the season, regardless of what manager's there, it's picking that up. And like you say, that the players that they've got, are they strong enough to pull out of a relegation battle? Now I know they did it last year, but I think in terms of their squad, I don't think it's the strongest by a long shot. So, but they are on a good run at the moment, and you know, if they carry this on, if they carry the momentum on, I think that there's a chance they could.
But Swansea are also survival specialists, aren't they? So
yeah, well that's it. Yeah,
so anything's possible.
But the problem is, as we've seen with teams like Sunderland and Aston Villa, every single year for 4 or 5 years, they're just about scraping it. But eventually, once you'll get to a point where you can't do it every season, and you could drop. So,
but look at Sunderland now.
Yeah, exactly.
They're on the verge of dropping out of the Championship now as well.
Absolutely mental. It's mental.
So, you know.
Okay. Right. My favourite one. Stoke, 18th. Go on, mate. Far away.
Stoke. Again, goals is the problem.
Yeah.
I think for Stoke. You know, the defence has always been reasonably tight.
Apart from this season.
They've got a decent goalkeeper there. You know, who I'm surprised wasn't headhunted in January. By some of the bigger clubs. Liverpool, I think we're interested, but... Yeah. He might have been a good fit there, but they've managed to keep hold of him. But it's goals. I just don't think his system works. I can't see someone like Sadio Berahino coming on after 80 minutes for Peter Crouch, because for me, Peter Crouch is not an 80-minute man.
No, he's not at all. I completely agree with that, mate. I think he's a good impact player off the bench.
You know.
But the problem is exactly like you say, and I completely agree. Sadio Berahino coming off an 80th minute, and especially if you're losing as well, with his current form, his current record, you know, he's having a fucking torrid time.
He just needs some minutes on the pitch.
Yeah.
You know?
But for him to do that, he's got to do something on the pitch first that'll make the manager think, well, you know, he's worthy of starting.
But didn't he bring Crouch off after 80 minutes against Bournemouth and bring Berahino on?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's pointless, really.
I can't see Crouch lasting 80 minutes. To me, that should have been the other way around. Crouch for the last 15 minutes if you're drawing, just for an aerial threat.
No, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
Crouch is probably the best aerial threat player in the Premier League.
I think him and probably Andy Carroll, I agree with that. I mean, he's for his age, you know, he's doing well, Crouch, but I understand what you're saying. He's not an 80, probably not even a 60-minute man. I think he's all right for half an hour's worth of football. But the problem is we've got no goal scorers in the team. Exactly like you say. I mean, Juve is very hit and miss.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go into Stoke too much because you can tell me again what you think anyway. But right, Huddersfield 19th.
Huddersfield again. I just don't see any goal threats at all on the pitch.
No.
Anywhere.
No, I don't.
Anywhere at all.
No.
I just don't see enough. I mean, for the first half at Old Trafford, yeah, they played reasonably well, but their first shot on target came out in the 91st minute at Old Trafford. That even at a ground like that, as we've seen earlier on in this season with Bristol City at Man City, go there and have a go.
Well, you've got to.
Bristol City were pretty much on top of that game for 65 minutes against Man City in the cup semi-final. Yeah, you know, I just don't see the point of Huddersfield in the position they're in. Yes, they know they're gonna get United are gonna have a lot of the ball, but why not have a go with what the bit of the ball you have got? You know, because you might nick a goal.
Yeah.
You might not. You might lose 4-0. You know.
I think the problem is that some managers are more concerned about. They think if they lose 1-2-0, it's not too bad, which I know Huddersfield did, but like I say, 91st minute you've got one shot on target. It's
not good enough in a relegation.
It's Pulis-esque, that is.
Yeah.
Then again, we were fucking lucky with one shot on target. I mean, some away games. So, right, finally, West Brom.
Yeah, for me, West Brom are going down.
You think West Brom are going?
Yeah, I think so. Again, they've got Pulis in, who is really a defensive manager. Pardew, sorry, who is, you know, what can you say about West Brom? Against goals.
Yeah.
Rondon has probably got about 4 this season. I know they've brought Sturridge in.
Yeah.
But to me, Sturridge is also a supply striker. And, you know, I can't see the supply much from behind there.
No, and
standout player for West Brom really is Chris Brunt for me.
I think he's there. Yeah, he's like their workhorse, isn't he, in that team, and he gives it 110%. I mean, you've got Johnny Evans as well, good players, but I think the problem is they're in a little bit too deep at the moment. I mean, they're 4 points off coming out of the relegation zone, and like you say, in terms of goal threat, I know they've got Sturridge and they've got Rondon as well, but Sturridge has not been the same player for let's say 2-3 years. He's just not the player that he was. So they're going to struggle to find goals, which would then impact on obviously them picking up points. So yeah, I think they could potentially go down.
It all comes down to what I'm not sure what the remaining fixtures are for all the clubs like Stoke, West Brom.
Yeah,
I know Huddersfield have got some tough games remaining, like City away, Arsenal away. You can't see anything out of that.
No, well we've got some tough games. Couple at home, couple away. I mean, luckily we've got the likes of yourselves and Chelsea out of the way, you know, both home and away. But we've got Man City at home. In fact, like I say, it varies from club to club. But I think Swansea have got quite a difficult run in as well, to be honest.
I mean, they've all got tough games left. You know, every game's tough, but especially against the top 6.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Right, so then, tell me your bottom 3. Who is game B? So in 20th, we'll start from bottom. 20th.
West Brom.
You think West Brom are going to stay where they are?
Yeah.
Okay. 19th.
Swansea. Yeah, I think so.
And then 18th.
I think it'll be a toss-up between... It could well be a toss-up between Stoke and Newcastle, I think, there.
What, Huddersfield?
I think Huddersfield will drop into the bottom 3. So if we go for West Brom, Huddersfield, and then, like you say, Swansea are on a good run. Can they keep that going? Maybe. So maybe, you know, Newcastle or Stoke there. Because Stoke's run at the moment, you just can't get a victory, can they?
Well, we've won. We've picked up 4 points out of 9. We weren't very good against Watford. Then again, this is me being biased. I'm not going to influence you. So
Fruit away against Bournemouth, didn't they, as well?
Yeah, we did. And to be honest, mate, in that first half, we dominated the game. Absolutely dominated it. But that's by the by now. It's gone. We've got Brighton at home this Saturday, which is fucking huge. If we win that, I mean, you can move up 3 or 4 places. So
yeah, so if we go West Brom, Huddersfield, Newcastle. For me, that's the bottom 3.
That's your bottom 3. So
Stoke,
you think Stoke
will just survive.
Stoke, and you reckon
Swansea will just survive by a couple of points probably as well.
Brighton as well.
Yeah.
Right. Fair enough, mate. Right. That's. I'd take that now. Put it that way. Anyway. Right. So we're going to go to the top 4 now. Now, obviously.
Well, the top 3.
Well, yeah. All right. Okay. But we'll exclude Man City then. Okay. So if we go from 2nd to 4th, so Man United. Now, I'll tell everybody now. You're a Man United fan. So do you think that you're going to stay 2nd, or do you think you might drop, or do you
think we'll finish 3rd?
You think 3rd?
Yeah.
Okay. Based on what?
Just, we look at the Spurs game. Yeah, it's a tough game. It's a tough place to go, but you've got to try and get something. Spurs are a very good side at home. We just didn't look like we was going to get anything at all out of the game. Huddersfield at home, 0-0 at half time. You've got to start scoring goals against these teams. You've got to put Huddersfield away before it gets to 50, 60 minutes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Teams like that, you've got to be putting them away if you want to finish in the top. But saying that...
You still think you'll finish 3rd, though?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be very, very surprised. I mean, there's a 5-point gap at the moment.
I say it'll be close between 2nd and 3rd, United.
Yeah. Okay.
With Chelsea. Depending on how Chelsea get on tonight.
Yeah,
so again, a tough game, Watford away.
Watford away, haven't they? So,
Liverpool yesterday.
That was a fair game, that was yesterday.
That was a disgusting game from an official point of view. Both Tottenham's penalties were offside. Second one, it didn't look like much of a penalty to me, that Van Dijk kick, to be honest.
Well, that's where I suppose you could bring the VAR into it.
Well, yeah.
And that's something I was going to mention to you. So, do you think in the Premier League we need it for every game?
Maybe you should trial it for the top big games at the moment.
The televised games,
potentially. The Chelsea's, Man United's, the City's against Arsenal's, stuff like that. Then let's see how we go from there. The relegation games, maybe.
Yeah.
If one of the bottom 3 are playing each other, let's just trial it on them games and let's go from there. I mean, yesterday proved it definitely needed it.
I mean, some of them decisions for the penalties, and even free kicks as well, mate, they were fucking horrendous.
That first one from Kane, he was offside, and it did look like a dive to me.
Yeah, and the problem is now he's seen as a big name, and sometimes, I mean, I'm not saying it's necessarily true for every time he plays, but I think sometimes the officials will probably swing to not going against them. You know what I mean? They'll probably say, in their mind, they're probably thinking, well, big name player.
Yeah, well,
sometimes I know that's probably a bit. I'm probably a bit biased for saying that, but
it's like the last penalty. It's a big call to give a penalty from there in the 92nd minute,
definitely.
An even bigger bottle from Kane to stand in front of the cop end after missing one.
Oh yeah,
to drill that in. You know what I mean?
He's a good player, isn't he? There's no denying that. He's class.
He was always going to put that in for me there.
Yeah,
That's just refereeing decision, just unbelievable.
So. Okay, so you think Man United potentially 3rd. So in 2nd, are you looking at either Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham? Who are we going for?
Tottenham are on a good run. I'd fancy Chelsea to nick in there though.
Do you think Chelsea finish?
Chelsea normally have a pretty good pedigree in terms of last second half of the season. We'd probably be tossed up between United and Chelsea for 2nd place this year, I think.
Yeah. Do you think, because Chelsea are on a bit of a strange run, losing 3-0 at home to Bournemouth.
Yeah. That's what I mean about the Premier League. It's just so unpredictable all the time. It's like tonight you'd put your money on Chelsea winning at Watford. United destroyed them there.
Depending on how they set up Watford. If they set up like they did against Stoke, keep...
But also the problems with Conte and the board at the moment. I don't think he's getting the backing from the owners either.
Apparently, what I read the other day, or in fact I think it was this morning actually, apparently he doesn't get much say in terms of transfers. I mean, this whole thing with Giroud and Batshuayi, with Batshuayi going to Dortmund, then Giroud coming from Arsenal to Chelsea. I don't even think Conte really wanted Giroud, but
I don't think he's getting any say in these transfers.
Well, Roman Abramovich has done it before. When Shevchenko came, he literally was power wanking his way to saying to Mourinho, "Look, was it Mourinho? Was Mourinho there then? Saying, I want Shevchenko." And obviously, he didn't have the impact that I think probably the fans and Roman Abramovich was hoping for. And penultimately, in the first time round, it lost Mourinho his job. Not just the Shevchenko addition, but it didn't help his cause with the lack of goals and other things. And
But for me, that's why he's a good player.
I think he is.
His movement off the ball, is phenomenal.
It's just he's
That's
not
what Chelsea needs.
He's not a proper run in the team, and when you've got players like, I can understand with Diego Costa being there, and Morata, who's had a bit of a mixed bag of a season. He's a good player, there's no denying that, but I think Batshuayi probably should have had a run of 2 or 3 games, where he was given a chance to, prove that he can score goals.
But Morata was good in the Spanish league. Where it's a lot slower pace. And less of a contact sport, whereas at the moment I think he's getting roughed up quite a lot. And I don't think he's liking it much.
No.
But that's why, to me, Batshuayi would have been a better fit, but it's a lot of money spent, so I suppose you got to put him in. They'll hold on to the money, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So we've got either Man United or Chelsea in second and third, so we'll just go with that 4th place. So you've now got then, if you're saying Man United and Chelsea, that means you've either got Liverpool, Tottenham or Arsenal to finish 4th.
Well, what can you say about Arsenal? For me, them signings could be crucial. Aubameyang looked good.
Yes,
he looks a very good signing. Arsenal fans should be chuffed with that. Ozil signing a new contract again. That's good news for the club. We've got him tied down now. And Mkhitaryan, he had a bit of a mixed bag at Old Trafford, but he could be. He had 2 assists, 3 assists. Yesterday, the other day. It's going to be close for this 4th spot now because Spurs are on a good run. Liverpool are always putting teams away at Anfield.
They are. I mean, at home they're fucking frightening for me.
I mean, them front 3 from Liverpool is just devastating.
Yeah, it is.
But if I had to pick for a 4th spot now, I'd probably go Spurs.
Spurs?
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assumption. I'm looking at the table now. From 5th up to 3rd, there's 2 points. So, and then from 5th up until 2nd, there's 7 points. You're sort of 5 points clear at the moment. Obviously, there's a lot going on tonight's game for Chelsea and Watford, but I would probably just about agree with that. I've got to be honest with you though. I do think if Liverpool can continue, I mean, like you say, especially the thing is Liverpool at home, they are devastating. They pretty much beat anybody.
But then they'll go to Watford away and they'll lose 3-0,
or draw 0-0, or fucking,
or they'll lose at home to West Brom in the cup.
Yeah.
Results like that. That's not good enough.
No, and like you say, that's probably the sort of thing that could stop them from hitting that top 4 this season. But I think Liverpool, I go on about Liverpool every fucking time, but I think it's because going forward they are devastating, but at the back they lack so much for me.
I mean, I've got a few friends who are Liverpool fans, and it must be so frustrating watching Liverpool week in, week out, because they'll devastate all the top sides, like Man City at home the other week.
Oh yeah,
absolutely brutalised them. I know Man City scored a couple of late goals, but they never looked like they was going to get into it. And then the West Brom Cup game.
It's like opposites, the mirror opposites.
What is that? What was that performance? Do you know what I mean?
Well, like the Swansea one as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, they had most of the ball. They pretty much dominated the game in terms of possession, but there was no
final third end product.
And when you've got Salah, Mane, Firmino in that side, I mean, he doesn't. Even away from home, you should be putting them sort of teams away.
Well, Salah's on 20 Premier League goals now. Do you know what I mean? You don't get to that sort of feat from midfield or attack, whatever his position is, if you're not a good player. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, he's absolutely class.
He's probably the best signing they've made for years.
Yeah.
And Chelsea are probably kicking themselves for how he was at Chelsea, but wasn't not the same player.
So your top 4 then is Man City, either Chelsea or Man United, with between 2nd and 3rd, and then 4th. You think Tottenham?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think United might just sneak the 2nd because 3 of our home games coming up now are Arsenal at home, Liverpool at home, and Chelsea at home.
Oof.
We've got all 3 of them.
So they're all really
all
in fairness.
Old Trafford.
It's if you fuck any of them games up, that's potentially where it could change. But
then obviously we've got City away, which you would say at the moment is a write-off, but you never know in the Premier League. But
no.
It depends what position we're in by the time that game comes around, because I think that's early April anyway. So
I think United will be kicking themselves a bit, because if they'd have just picked up a point, say, at White Hart Lane the other day, with Man City drawing, with you beating Huddersfield, I mean, it's gaining points. But I think, in fairness, the bookies would throw the money at you if you said, Manchester United are going to win the league this time round, because, in complete honesty, Man City have got that much of a point gap. I mean, it's 13 at the moment, so they've got to lose 5 games between now and the end of the season.
I think they've only lost Have they only lost one this year?
They've
so
lost
far?
one, haven't they? Yeah, they've lost one. And I mean, that draw against Burnley was a bit of a surprise, but Burnley have had a good season, so...
Palace almost beat them, didn't they?
Yeah.
Missed a penalty in the last minute, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
You know, so that could have been another defeat, but that's what champions do, though, isn't it?
They do.
They find a way.
Manchester United used to do it. They
United found a way to get a 1-0 with about 40% possession or whatever, you know.
That's it, and it didn't matter.
That's all you need.
I mean, Fergie knew what he was doing in games, and his philosophy was that, you know, it's a 90-minute game, and until, doesn't matter if it's the 90th, you know, extra time, 95th minute.
Fergie knew going to a place like Stamford Bridge, you know you're going to get battered, and you know if you create one chance and you take that one chance and you defend as a team, you could hold out. You know, that's the philosophy Fergie adapted. Yeah. I think Pep Guardiola's a bit more of an attacking minded manager. He's likes his one-touch football and his, you know, like he did at Barcelona. Yeah. Which seems to be paying off for him at City now in his second season. So
he's definitely improved this season. But then again, you look at the money he's fired at that back four, especially his wing backs.
Well, yeah, you know, and one of them's out for the season. Yeah. He's only played like 2 games this season. Yeah. The guy they signed from,
was it Monaco?
Monaco, wasn't it? Yeah.
And they brought in Laporte as well. I mean, he's a fucking steady signing. I don't know if people heard about Laporte, but he is a good player. He come from Bilbao. He was a decent player. Right, mate. Well, thanks very much. I've enjoyed that. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button in the box below. And until next time, have a good one.